Enid returned to her desk and started rustling in a bag beside it. It was some variation of my mum's dog's name and a number. Bertie 123? It didn't work. Shit. I'd have to call that woman in IT whose name I could never remember. And did you get any nice presents? Bertie 19, that was it. Bingo. Emails started spilling into my inbox and disappearing off the screen. I watched as the counter spiraled up to 632. They were mostly press releases about diets, I observed, scrolling through them. Sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, fat-free. Something new designed by a Californian doctor called the raisin diet, on which you were only allowed to eat 30 raisins a day. Sorry, Enid, I said, shaking my head and reaching for my baguette. I'm concentrating. Any nice presents? Oh, some books from Mum. How was your Christmas? Lovely, thanks. Just me and Dave and the kids at home. And Dave's mum, who's losing her marbles a bit, but we managed. I overdid it on the Baileys, though, so I'm on a new diet I read about. Oh, yeah? It's called the raisin diet. It's supposed to be ever so good. You eat 10 raisins for breakfast, 10 raisins for lunch, and 10 raisins for supper. And they say you can lose a stone in a week. I watched over my computer screen as Enid counted out raisins from a little Tupperware box. Morning all, Happy New Year and all that nonsense. Meeting in my office in 15 minutes, please, boomed Peregrine's voice as he swept through the door in a navy overcoat and trilby. Peregrine was a 55-year-old social climber who launched Posh in the 90s in an attempt to mix with the sort of people he thought should be his friends. Dukes, earls, lords, the odd Ukrainian oligarch. He applied the same principle to his wives. First, an Italian jewellery heiress. Second, the daughter of a Venezuelan oil baron. He was currently married to a French stick insect who was, as Peregrine told anyone he ever met, a distant relation to the Monaco royals. Where is everyone? He said, reappearing from his office, coat and hat now removed. I looked around at the empty desks. Not sure. It's just me and Enid so far. Well, I want a meeting with you and Lala as soon as she's in. I've got a major story we need to get going with. Sure. What is it? Top secret. Just us three in the meeting. Need to know basis, he said, glancing at Enid. You're right, he added. Enid was poking the inside of her mouth with a finger. Just got a bit of raisin stuck, she replied. Peregrine grimaced, then looked back at me. Right, well, will you let me know as soon as Lala's in? I nodded. Got it, said Enid, waving a finger. An hour later, Lala, the magazine's party editor, and I were sitting in Peregrine's office. I'd drunk my coffee and eaten both the baguette and the muffin, but still felt perilously close to death. So, there's yet another royal baby on the way, said Peregrine. The Countess of Hartlepool told me at lunch yesterday. They have the same gynaecologist, apparently. Due when? I asked. July, he said. So I want us to get cracking with a quick piece which we can squeeze into the next issue. I wondered if I'd live as far as July, given how I felt today. Some birthday this was. What about something on the Royal Playmates? I said. Peregrine nodded while scratching his belly, which rolled over his waistband and rested on the top of his legs. Yes, that sort of thing. The Fotheringham Montagues are having their second too, I think. And my friend Octavia de Flamingo is having her first baby, said Lala, chewing on her pen. They've already reserved a place at Eton in case it's a boy. Well, we need at least 10 others, so can you both ask around and find more posh babies, said Peregrine. I want it on my desk first thing on Friday, Polly. And can you get the pictures of them all, too? Of the parents, I checked. No, 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 he roared. Of the babies. I want all the women's scan pictures. The sort of thing that no one else will have seen. You know, real, insidery stuff. I sighed as I walked back to my desk. Posh was now so insidery, it was going to print pictures of the aristocracy's wombs. My Tuesday evenings were traditionally spent having supper with my mum in her Battersea flats, and tonight, as a birthday treat, I was doing exactly the same thing. It was a chaotic and mummified flat. Mum had lived there for nearly 20 years, ever since Dad died and we'd moved to London from Surrey. She worked in a curtain shop nearby because her boss allowed her to bring her 9-year-old Jack Russell to the shop so long as he stayed behind the counter and didn't wee on any of the damask that lay around the place in giant rolls. Bertie largely obliged, only cocking his leg discreetly on the very darkest rolls he could find if Mum got distracted by talking to a customer for too long. It was the curtain shop that had landed me a job at Posh. Peregrine's second wife, the Venezuelan one, had come in to discuss pelmets for their new house in Chelsea while I was in there talking to Mum one Saturday. And he...